one of the things I like in your book and in your blog posts is I think what you call idea arbitrage, where you just get those different ideas from around the web. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, we have these ideas in life, and sometimes they're wonderful and sometimes they're not, but we often think they're wonderful when we first have them, right? We're like, oh my gosh, this is genius. No one's ever thought of this before. Let me put it out there. Even sometimes before we've experimented with it, validated it. And this idea of idea arbitrage is that when you get these seeds, you can actually imagine them to be like plants instead of just like going and selling the seeds, which are not worth very much because they haven't really been tested. Uh, Go water them, go turn them into a plant. And the way that you do that is not by going and researching everything in a vacuum for 3 hours, but to let kind of the world validate it for you. And what I mean by that is as you're browsing Twitter or as you're reading other books or having conversations with your friends, that seed is in the back of your head. And if it is, and it's something that you're trying to validate, you will notice things. You will see other tweets that relate to that. You will
Mm.
read articles that relate to that. And you will be able to, over time, like either add to it and mature that idea, or sometimes you'll find that actually I had this idea and now that I'm really thinking about it, and now that I'm seeing like how other people are talking about it, this idea doesn't really have much weight. Doesn't really
Mhm.
hold its own. And so that's what I encourage people to do. And the article that I think you're referring to is my one about writing. It's about my entire writing
Yeah.
process. And it's
Mhm.
called Writing is Thinking. If people Google that, they'll probably find it. But yes, it's this idea where I think some people, because of the way that we were taught in school, think that writing an article is about like sitting down and writing that article from top to bottom in one sitting or two sittings. And I basically never do that. And often it'll be like 30 sittings, as crazy as that
Mhm.
sounds. And one sitting may be as simple as like dropping a tweet in there that relates to that article. But it's important for me to write down all these seeds, and I have hundreds of seeds now of things that I eventually want to write or talk about, and then adding things as I go to the point where when I actually sit down and write that article, it's really easy because I have all of this information, but more important than the information, I've thought about it. I've like let it mature in my head to the point where when I'm sitting down, I'm very, very clear on what I'm actually trying to say.